And we're back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dark Phoenix Gaming, and welcome back to my Dragon Age Origins Let's Play with Arianne Tabris. Last time we left off, we just stormed the Earl of Denerim's palace and murdered his son because they kidnapped us and all the other women at our wedding party for a night of fun, our willingness notwithstanding, let's just say. So, our cousin Saurus broke in. Apparently Duncan gave him and Neleros, the elf from Highever we were supposed to marry, some weapons. And they broke in to try to help get us out. Neleros, by the way, died in the attempt. We have his wedding ring, but that's about it. Then, when we got back, the guards turned up, because how dare elves try to defend themselves against humans? Classic Dragon Age racism right there. And we took the blame for everything. We were going to get hauled off to prison to await sentencing, but Duncan, right here, the head of the Grey Wardens in Ferelden, decided that he needed new recruits enough to risk pissing off the local nobility, and so used something called the Rite of Conscription to get us as a Grey Warden. Which Arianna knows fuck all about, besides the fact that it means that the guards can't really do anything to stop him, and he says it's going to happen. End of story. Anyways, other thing of note, on out of character point, I am actually recording this in OBS Studio, which was my go-to recording software before I started having some problems with it. But there has been one issue that cropped up in the last couple of recordings of this, and I haven't checked my Morrowind footage yet, of that new Let's Play, so I don't know if it's popped up in the first episode of Morrowind yet or not. But the mouse cursor is black in all of those. It just turns up as straight up black. And I don't know why. It's something to do with NVIDIA Shadowplay, because I searched online and apparently this is a common enough issue that people are talking about solutions. But mine is to just use OBS. But enough about my technical issues. Hopefully that works out for me. We'll see. In any case, it's time for us to finally speak to Duncan, get this show on the road, and start moving towards the part where the game actually opens up, and all of the origins converge as one.
Are you ready to go?
That I am.
Good. Then we leave for Ostagar immediately.
Off to Ostagar we go.
We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korcari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Kaelan. I didn't expect
a royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Meeting with royalty on our first arrival in Ostagar. Was
then
not
I'll
expecting
have the mighty Duncan
that.
at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is she?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
There's no need to be so formal, Duncan. We'll be shedding blood together after all. Ho there, friend. Might I know your name?
being unusually friendly towards an elf for a human king. But I'm not about to be the one to provoke him into being a douchebag. If the king wants to pretend and that he cares about elves, then let him. I am Arianne, your majesty.
Pleased to meet you. The Grey Wardens are desperate to bolster their numbers, and I, for one, am glad to help them. I see you're an elf, friend. From where do you hail?
Well, from the city of Denerim, if you want specifics.
As do I. Though I've not been in the palace for some time. Do you come from the alienage? Tell me, how is it there? My guards all but forbid me going there.
Well, at this point, I think Arianne is a little bit amazed at how ignorant this king seems to be of the goings-on in the city that houses his own palace. So, we're going to take the opportunity to fill him in the most blunt way possible about just what goes on under his nose. How is it, you ask? Well, I killed an Arl's son for raping my cousin. How's that for news?
You... what?
Your Majesty, I would not have put it so bluntly. There are events in Denerim you should be aware of.
So it seems. I will hear more about this matter later. For now, we have a war to attend to. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to Ostagar. The Wardens will benefit greatly with you in their ranks.
You're too kind, your majesty.
I'm sorry to cut this short, but I should return to my tent. Loghain waits eagerly to bore me with his strategies.
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different.
You sound rather confident of that. I wish I could say I shared that. I might only have read the history books about Darkspawn, but I can't say I feel like your confidence is well placed.
Overconfident, some would say. Right, Duncan?
Your Majesty, I'm not certain the Blight can be ended quite as quickly as you might wish.
I'm not even sure this is a true blight. There are plenty of Darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do.
Man,
I must
that
go
is
before
just
Loghain
nothing
sends out a
but
search party.
glory-mongering.
Farewell,
This
Grey
king is an
Wardens.
idiot. He is an utter fool. With that kind of attitude, he'll get himself killed before long.
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the Darkspawn here.
He didn't seem to take them very seriously.
True. Despite the victories so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling.
Well, if the king were still here, I wouldn't say this, but Arianne has been thinking it ever since she met him just now, and we like Duncan. We trust him enough to speak our minds to him. So, we're not going to hold back. You probably could if the king were not such an utter fool.
You must not speak of the king so. He is over-eager, perhaps, but he is also one of the few Grey Warden allies. Our
Alright,
numbers in Ferelden
fair
are too
point.
few.
Can't
We
blame
must
me
do
for
what we
thinking
can,
out loud
and
when
we
I got the
can turn
chance,
Loghain
though.
to make up the difference. To that end, we should proceed with the joining ritual without delay.
A hot meal might be nice first, though. We've been on the road for ages. Can't remember the last time I ate.
I agree. We have until nightfall to begin the ritual. Every recruit must go through a secret ritual we call the joining in order to become a Grey Warden. The ritual is brief, but some preparation is required. We must begin soon.
Am I the only recruit you have?
No, there are 2 other recruits here already. They have been waiting for us to arrive.
Why is this ritual so secret? I never heard anything about a joining ritual before.
The joining is dangerous. I cannot speak more of it except to say that you will learn all in good time. Until then, you must trust that what is done is necessary.
Well, what do you need me to do?
Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Until then, I have business I must attend to. You may find me at the Grey Warden tent on the other side of this bridge, should you need to.
Alright then. And welcome to Ostagar, everybody. The place where all of the various origins will converge, because this is the point where all the story stuff just merges into one place, because from this point on, it's the same overarching story and narrative for everybody. Since all of the origins come here.
Make her watch over you, my lady.
Human soldiers being polite to elves. Will wonders never cease?
Hail, you must be the Grey Warden recruit that Duncan brought.
That's me.
This place hasn't seen such bustle in centuries, I'll wager. Need a hand getting anywhere?
Well, why don't you tell me about Ostagar a bit?
Used to be a fortress long time ago, so I understand. Back in the days when the Wilders used to invade the lowlands. You were just on the eastern side of the ruin. The Tower of Ishal is there, but Tairn Logain's closed it off until the battle. This side is the King's camp. We've got the Grey Wardens here, the Circle of Magi, the Chantry. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting somebody important.
Charming imagery there. Anywhere to get supplies?
Quartermaster, he's just a bit to the northwest.
Wait, you said the Circle of Magi was here.
A few mages, yes. They even brought those creepy quiet fellows, the Tranquil. Gives me the shivers when they talk, all cold and even. They're to the north of here, bunched up with a herd of Templars glaring at them. Can't miss it.
Where's the king?
Probably in his tent. He and Tairn Logain are on the southwest side of the camp. The king likes to spend time with his soldiers, though. Sometimes even without his bodyguards. Drives Tairn Logain wild, that does.
Yet more proof that this king is an idiot if he's going around in the middle of a war camp without protection. Do I hear dogs barking, by the way?
This is Ferelden, isn't it? The king has his kennels on the west side of camp. Stinks from all the hounds. These aren't cute puppies, though. Some of those dogs bite the darkspawn and get too much of that blood in them. It's like poison. Slow, painful death. Terrible.
Okay, I'll be on my way then.
Good luck to you, then.
Well, we're over here, so... let's just look around the camp a little bit. See what's what before we get started with story things.
Greetings. King Kalen is not in his tent right now.
Why don't you tell me about the king? You must see him a lot.
I suppose I do, though he's spending most of his time with the Grey Wardens. He rides with them wherever they go, in fact. Tairn Logain sees the king whenever he can and argues with him over coming battles, but the king just waves him off. The king wants to end the Blight with a single huge battle the bards will sing of for centuries. Do you think that's possible?
I have my doubts.
That's how the Terran feels. He'll do what the king wants in the end, though. The king thought it was funny that Terran called him reckless, and they fought about the queen.
Do they fight often?
More than usual lately. Good thing the Terran's the only one who can speak to the king like that.
Yeah, I
As you
should
wish.
go. Honestly, having your chief military commander and monarch fighting like this all the time does not seem like a very healthy command structure to me. Then again, what do I know about military matters? I'm just an elf who happens to know how to fight.
I'm sorry, but the mages must not be interrupted. I'm sorry, but the mages must not be interrupted.
The mages must not be interrupted. Their spirits are in the Fade.
The who?
The Fade is the realm of dreams and the land of the dead, or so the mages tell us. Regardless, they are not to be disturbed, not even by Grey Wardens.
As you wish.
We stand here in this hour, good folk of Ferelden, and we contemplate the death that may await.
Oh
Let
great,
us live,
religion.
friends. Should it find you, you will not have failed your king. You will have served your maker. Die in this
I hate
battle, and when you
religion.
stand before the maker in the land beyond the Fade, he shall not find you. Go not into death gladly, but with the knowledge that
This isn't good. I'd hate to waste such a promising member of the breed. Are you the new warden? I could use some help.
What's the problem?
This is a Mabari. Smart breed and strong. His owner died in the last battle, and the poor hound swallowed darkspawn blood. I have medicine that might help, but I need him muzzled first.
Just how smart is this dog?
Centuries ago, a mage bred them to be smart and understand what they're told. They can remember and carry out complex orders. Most valuable dogs in the world. Trouble is, they generally imprint to one master. Re-imprinting them is very difficult. But without the medicine, re-imprinting won't be an issue. Will you help?
Yeah, I've seen a few Mabari over the years, and they always seem to be really loyal to their masters, even when their masters were asking for some questionable things. And remarkably intelligent, too. Having one of those along for the ride could be handy. Could he be imprinted to me, perhaps?
We can try. But first, we need to muzzle and medicate him.
We'll give it a shot.
Go in the pen and let him smell you. We'll know right away if he'll respond. Let's hope this works. I'd really hate to have to put him down.
Aw, puppy! The intelligence was a great deal of pain. This animal is very ill. Put the muzzle on the dog? I'm not gonna kill the dog! What are you, crazy? I don't kill puppies. I pet them. We'll muzzle him. He growls weakly but does not challenge us.
Well done. Now I can treat the dog properly, poor fella. Come to think of it, are you heading into the wilds anytime soon?
I might be. Why do you ask?
There's a particular herb I could use to improve the dog's chances. It's a flower that grows in the swamps here, if I remember. If you happen across it, I could use it. It's very distinctive, all white, with a blood-red centre.
Where in the wilds would I find this flower? I'm not exactly a local.
It usually grows in dead wood that collects at the edge of ground pools. Should be plenty this time of year.
Alright. I'll see if I can find one.
Good. In the meantime, I'll begin treating our poor friend.
Yeah. I hope we end up with the Mabari Hound. That would be so cool.
You there, elf. What's your name?
It's Pick, sir.
Go tell Turnlow that the war party's ready to begin scouting. We'll send word if we find anything amiss.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Ash Warriors. Who are... The Ash Warriors. I don't recall.
Maker's Breath, another elf. What do you want?
You have a problem with elves.
Not in particular, except for them being so thin-boned. You make good messengers sometimes. Is there something you wanted? We have no time for idle chatter.
You don't look like the other soldiers in the army.
We aren't. We're Ash Warriors.
What is an Ash Warrior?
Our training has been passed down since Lathias the Dwarf Son first harnessed the battle rage of the dwarves. It is an old tale.
So, what does an Ash Warrior do?
We harness the rage inside us, nurture it, and draw it out so we cannot fall in battle until our last foe is slain. It is a dwarven discipline, but we've adapted it to let us fight alongside our hounds. That is our way. I trust my hound with my life.
So, like a
as he
berserker
trusts me
then?
with his.
Gotcha. A dog's that good in combat then?
A trained Mabari hound is as dangerous as any sword. We do not speak of a city pet or those things that sit in an old woman's lap.
What are you preparing for?
To scout the wilds and watch the progression of the Darkspawn horde. With luck, we'll find and slaughter many stragglers. The hunt will be good if my hound survives the blood of his prey. If he dies, I shall mourn tonight.
What do you mean, survives the blood?
Darkspawn blood is poisonous, but not always fatal. Those who survive grow immune to its effects. The wardens say the tainted blood drives even the survivors mad eventually. But not today. Today, we hunt and we kill.
And why have you painted your dogs?
They use scent to distinguish us from our enemies. The blood of battle can confuse them. So we paint ourselves with Caddis, which overpowers the blood, and also paint our hounds so they know we are the same.
I mean, that's not likely, so I won't even bother to ask. You mentioned a Lathias the Dwarf Son. Tell me of that tale.
I am no bard, but I will do my best. Lathias was a claimed tribesman. Some said he was too short to be a warrior, but he was strong and fierce. His chieftain sent him to the dwarves of Orzammar to negotiate an alliance, where he fell in love with the king's daughter, Skya, and brought her back to his tribe. She taught Lathias to use the dwarven battle wrath to summon his strength and ignore all pain. Lathias then taught this to the Clane, who made him their chieftain.
What happened to him?
Lathias' prowess earned him the love of Morrigannon, a beautiful chieftain of another tribe. When Skya learned of his seduction, she returned to her people. Lathias was grieved. He sent Morrigannon away, but this only vexed her, and began a long war between their tribes. In the end, Lathias slew Morrigannon in single combat. However, his wounds were great, and he perished when the rage ended. The dwarves came from Orzammar that day, and gave Lathias an honored burial in the mountains. And we live by his teachings even today.
An interesting legend. Thank you for telling me.
It was an honor.
Well, I should be going now.
My thanks. There is hunting to be done, and I'll not be kept from it.
That was an interesting story, definitely. Very
Maker
interesting.
above, hear the prayers of your sons and daughters. We who betrayed your prophet Andraste
Win,
now
eh?
beg your forgiveness.
Greetings, young lady. You are Duncan's newest recruit, are you not? He's not a man easily impressed. You should be proud. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Wynne, one of the mages summoned by the king.
Pleased to meet you.
Well met, and good luck to you on the battlefield. To us all, in fact.
Will you be fighting beside the king, then?
Not precisely. The Grey Wardens will be on the front lines, not the mages. Still, we have our parts to play. To defeat the Darkspawn, we have to work together. It's not an idea everyone seems able to grasp.
You faced Darkspawn before, I take it.
Stragglers, yes. Not the vast horde the scouts speak of. I wonder, how much do you know of the connection between Darkspawn and the Fade?
Isn't the Fade the land of the dead?
Anytime your spirit leaves your earthly body, whether it's to dream or to die, it passes into the realm we call the Fade. It's home to many spirits, some benevolent, others far less so. At the heart of the Fade lies the Black City.
The Black City. That's a rather ominous name.
Some say the Black City was once the seat of the Maker. But when the mages from the Tevinter Imperium found a way into the city, it was tainted with their sin. That taint transformed those men, turning them into twisted reflections of their own hearts. And the Maker cast them back to the Earth, where they became the first Darkspawn. At least that's what the Chant of Light says.
Yes, the Chantry says many things. A lot of them are bullshit.
It may be allegory, meant to teach us that our own evil causes human suffering. Or it may be true. It is as good an explanation as any for now.
At least it's something to ponder.
Yes, occasionally it's wise to contemplate one's actions. But I'm certain Duncan has more for you to do than talk to me.
Not a lot more, but yes. And wow. Someone who managed to talk about religion without pissing Arianne off. That's an achievement. This may shock you, but she doesn't particularly like religion or the Chantry very much.
That course of action is inadvisable.
But somehow Wynne managed it. Impressive.
So, any last wishes I can help fulfill before you head into battle? Life is fleeting, you know. That pretty face could be decorating some darkspawn spear this time tomorrow. Shall I take that quiet glare as a no? Oh, well, too bad. Well, you're not what I thought you'd be.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, me and Sir Knight were just betting on what the third recruit would be. Not an elf, yet here you are. The name's Daveth. It's about bloody time you came along. I was beginning to think they'd cooked this ritual up just for our benefit.
What do you know about this ritual? All anyone's been willing to share with me so far is that it exists.
I happened to be sneaking around camp last night, see, and I heard a couple of Grey Wardens talking. So, I listened in for a bit. I'm thinking they plan to send us into the wilds.
The wilds?
We're right on the northern edge of the Kokari Wilds here. Miles and miles of savage
Oh,
country.
right. Duncan
My
mentioned
village isn't
that on the
far,
road
and I grew
here.
up on tales about the wilds. Even been in there a few times. Scary place.
It seems like an odd place for an army to camp, then, if it's that dangerous in the forest.
I'm told the Blight started in the forest, so the army's here waiting for them to come out, dangling meat in front of the bear, if you catch my meaning.
Okay.
It's all too secretive.
Makes some sense, I
Makes my nose
suppose.
twitch. I guess we'll have to wait and see, like we have a choice.
Yeah. Wait, they're forcing you to be here?
I've got nowhere else to go after what Duncan saved me from. Anyway, I expect it's time to get back to Duncan. That's where I'll be if you need me for anything.
Not gonna say that we wouldn't be here if we had a choice, because Arianne very much would. Life in Denerim in the big city is boring as shit as far as she's concerned. This is definitely preferable to that sort of setup. slightly modify our gear setup. And let's sell some of the crap we're not going to use.
You there, elf. Where's my armor? And why are you dressed so preposterously?
Okay. I've had a rough few days, and we are here, surrounded with humans and nobles, and not able to stab any of them. And if they try anything. So I'm not feeling particularly controlled in my emotions. And you just pushed it over the line. How dare you speak to me like this, human?
What? Oh, you're the one who arrived with the Grey Warden. Please, forgive my rudeness. There are so many elves running about, and I've been waiting for... It's simply been so hectic. I never thought... Please, pardon my terrible manners. I am just the quartermaster, a simple man. No one special.
Perhaps you should treat your servants better. Then you wouldn't have to worry about random elves bitching you out.
Yes, of course, you're very right. Did you come for some supplies, perhaps?
What kind of supplies do you have?
Arms and armor, for the most part. It's for the King's men, but you Grey Wardens can buy what you need for a modest price. I also have some goods on the side I can provide. Strictly off the record, of course. To keep morale up, you understand.
I'm not interested in buying a prostitute from you, thank you, but... let's see what you have.
So long as you keep it quiet.
Party inventory. I have a very fancy bow for some reason. Not sure why. I'm gonna go around and sell the excess. That particular weapon there, and the silverite can stay, and everything else I've no reason to hold on to, really. Kite shield, guard shield, I'll keep those. I'm going to keep all of the accessories for now. So I have them for if something in there turns out to be useful to me. Probably not, but you never know. I'll buy some health potions, though. And,
Hello again. Is there something you need? Some supplies, perhaps?
Let's see your standard stock.
Let me know what you'd like.
Some lesser health poultices, however the fuck you say that. Yeah. There. Let's see. I can buy some flasks if I want for making my own potions and things. Let me see here. backpack if I want more inventory space. I'm refraining from selling those just because a lot of that is from mods and it would give me an unfair advantage in terms of how much money I have, so I won't do that. Not yet, anyways. But just give me a second. Apparently I didn't level up. So I'll put a point into dexterity and 2 into strength. We want to have at least a little strength, I figure. And I have 0 interest in archery. I'm going to get dirty fighting to be able to incapacitate opponents. We have herbalism. Let's see. Making lesser health poultices is a thing I can do. I just need elf root and flasks.
Hello again. Is there something you need? Let me know.
So, let's get some of them. Flasks. If I wanted all 99, that would cost me rather a lot. I'll get 12. There we go. Now I can make some more. Yeah, being able to make my own potions. Handy skill to have. Really is.
Soldiers of Ferelden. My sister.
Now. Up here. The infirmary and...
You may not want to remain here long, Warden. Most of these men have been tainted by the Darkspawn blood.
Okay, yeah, let's not stick around then.
May you find favor in the Maker's eyes. So let it be.
More religion. Lovely. We'll let the priest carry out her nonsense.
Greetings. You must be the third recruit we've heard about.
Yes, I am Arianne.
Sir Jury.
Arianne, if you prefer.
I hail from Redcliffe, where I served as knight under the command of Arlayman. I wasn't aware elves could join the Grey Wardens, those camped in the valley are all human.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just that in some places, elves are not always permitted in the military. I hope we're both lucky enough to eventually join the Wardens. Is it not thrilling to be given that chance?
Yeah. This guy really needs to learn to watch what he's suggesting around us, because there's only so much we'll put up with in terms of accidental racism, after all. Aren't you nervous about fighting Darkspawn?
I would be lying if I said I wasn't. As a boy, my mother told us Darkspawn hunted down all children who misbehaved. It is a foolish superstition, I know, but I still shiver when I think of fighting them. Tell me, has anyone told
Personally,
you what this
I got
ritual
told
entails?
that human nobles hunted down all elven children who misbehaved. But hey, human nobility, Darkspawn, what's the difference, right? The joining? It's all a big secret, apparently. I haven't gotten anything in terms of actual facts about it.
I never heard of such a ritual. I had no idea there were more tests after getting recruited. I suppose since you're finally here, I'd best get back to Duncan. I shall see you there.
Alright. Now, there are two things left to do before we can start getting into the action. Logain's tent.
You approach the tent of Tairn Logain. State your business.
Tell me about Tairn Logain.
How can you not know of Logain? He helped free Ferelden. He was the brains behind King Maric's armies and drove out those damned Orlesians. King Maric rewarded him by making him a Tairn. Can you imagine? A commoner became a high nobleman just like that. Without Logain, you can bet the king wouldn't be winning against these Darkspawn.
You can tell this guy's really singing Logain's praises to high heaven. Quite the opinion of the man he has.
He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activities.
Surely you can tell me a little about him, though.
I suppose, as long as we talk quietly. He and the king have been arguing for days. The Tairn's known the king since he was swaddled, so they don't stand on ceremony. The Tairn speaks his mind, and the king yells right back. Personally, I think the king should do what Tairn Logain tells him. Without the Tairn, we wouldn't be doing as well here as we are.
Well, I should go.
Very well.
I'm not going to go and ask for an audience with Logain. We don't have a purpose for that, and it would kind of seem like us being a nosy fuck, just being the new person in camp and asking to meet the important guy. So no. We'll leave him to his important war planning. And I am going to leave it here for this episode. So, this has been Dark Phoenix Gaming, and you have been watching my Dragon Age Origins Let's Play with Arianne Tabris. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to see more like this. Hope you'll join me next time when we'll finally be talking to Alistair and commencing with the joining. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See you then, folks. See you then. Bye for now.